So, there was a fallout in the court case of the murder of MP Phillip Paulwell's daughter, Sarayah Paulwell, and their mother Tashayna Patterson killer, David Smith, the alleged shooter, as he was in court unrepresented by no attorney, while he stands before the court for murder. He is insisting he's an innocent man. This was his statement after he was served with papers by the prosecution, which is seeking to ensure he receives the death penalty. Smith is facing charges alongside mastermind of the murders, Leoda Bradshaw and their cousin Roland Balfour, former co-accused Russian Miller, Richard Brown, and Bijan Black. Balfour is alleged to be the one to have brought the other men together to commit the murder. During Smith's first court appearance at the Home Circuit Court, he was informed of the major accusations against him by the prosecution, represented by Paula Llewellyn, Director of Public Prosecutions. After Paula Llewellyn read the accusation on record, Smith raised his hand, to which the judge, Justice Vinette Graham Allen, said, "Can somebody speak to Mr. David Smith? His hands is up, and I'm not asking him what he wants." Attorney Deborah Martin, who is representing Leoda Bradshaw, then went to Smith, and then the judge became lenient and decided to hear what the accused man had to say. He said, "I did not do no murder." Smith continually said again, "I did not do any murder." To this, the judge responded, "Remember, I gave you a document. When you get a lawyer, you give the lawyer that document. Because that is what you are telling me now. Hey, me talking to you." He continued, "He did not do any murder." The judge then responded again, "What you don't understand?" Smith responded, "Tell me, Your Honor, I don't understand why I get this death penalty paper, because I don't do any murder." Judge Graham Allen then shouted in response, "Okay, good. So you are not a guilty man. That's what you are saying to me? What you saying? You don't do no murder? Is that it? Well, that is your side of the story. You did not do any murder. Am I right?" She continued by saying, "So when you get a lawyer, you talk. Don't talk to anyone else. Mouth closed, lock it, zip it until you get a lawyer. Then you can talk everything, bare your chest, empty your belly, and tell your lawyer. Until then, keep your mouth shut until I introduce a lawyer to you in court. You understand me, sir?" "Do you hear what I say?" the judge said. However, the judge continued by saying, "The case cannot proceed until Smith and Black has a lawyer." She then proceeded to finalize a date for the next hearing, which will be on June the 13th. Judge Graham Allen said, "Let me tell you the date, because the lawyer have to come here on that day. You see, because this here case here, nah go draw out," the judge expressed. The DPP Paula Llewellyn said that for this execution conspiracy contract murder, the allegation is that on September the 9th, 2023, Bradshaw took Tashayna Patterson and her baby Sarayah Paulwell and then met up with her co-accused David Smith and Richard Brown, who has already pleaded guilty after a plea negotiation and is serving their sentences. The DPP is also saying that the Crown was also alleging that Smith was the trigger man and therefore is reviewing the material. He is being called by the prosecution to join the other accused and has been served a notice of intention for the death penalty to be sought for him in this murder. The judge ordered that they all appear remotely for the next court date set for June the 13th at 2 p.m. The Crown alleges that Mr. Bajan Black joined Mr. David Smith and Mr. Richard Brown, who was the driver of the car that the men who received Miss Patterson and daughter Sarah Paulwell drove in after receiving them from Leoda Bradshaw. Then Mr. Black joined his co-accused Mr. David Smith in his vehicle driven by Richard Brown, where they drove mother and daughter through Mountain View area. Then Mr. Black handed over the gun to Mr. David Smith at the time, and they continued to the Worker Hills area. The DPP Paula Llewellyn went on to state that it was Mr. David Smith who used this same firearm to kill Tashayna Patterson and Sarayah Paulwell in the presence of Mr. Richard Brown and Mr. Bajan Black. The shells were then collected at the scene and the bodies burnt. Mr. Smith then took pictures of the dead bodies of Tashayna Patterson and their baby Sarayah Paulwell, which he then sent to Leoda Bradshaw at her request and orders, as she wanted evidence to show that the contract murder had been fully completed. Paula Llewellyn outlined. However, Smith was seated in the court clothed in full black and black slippers, bowed his head and clasped his hands for some time in his lap, listening to the DPP. Then Judge Graham Allen asked Smith to stand and read the notice served on him. The DPP then raised a new disclosure to the case with regards to the case where Black, who now joined the proceedings virtually, had another matter in the gun court. As when he was apprehended by the police, it's alleged that he was found in possession of a gun. And this same gun, a ballistic test was done and it matches with the gun that is believed to have been used by Smith to kill the mother and her baby. However, Judge Allen requested that the case be transferred to Graham Allen, who is presiding over the double murder case, taking into full account that Black had no attorney either. So a request is made for 2 legal aid attorneys to be assigned to them via the legal aid clinic, and that those 2 lawyers should have in excess of 6 years experience in these kind of court proceedings. You see, when you get yourself involved in criminal matters, and as a criminal, as a wicked man, you can't even find money to get a lawyer to even defend your own life. What kind of criminal are you? Nothing but a wasted criminal. Because you forgot on moves like this, to do big murders like this, and basically you did it for what? For a food? You take the mother and her baby life for a food? You're not a person where you even have a money where if anything go down, you can't even pay for your lawyer. Sad, sad, sad. You young people need to know what you're doing with your lives, if it's all worth it in the end. However, the whole time this proceeding was going on, Leoda Bradshaw was in court, sporting a natural hairstyle and an unkempt weave bun, a black dress with white floral print and grey slippers she wore. While Smith and Balfour sat in another section of the dock at the back, they all just sat there looking and listening and hearing the court proceedings. You ever hear they say, have a saying that says, Watch the friends that you keep. Well, based on my assessment, these men were linked through some kind of friendship, and it turned out to be bad company. Because through influences of one or the other, end up putting them all into this situation. So one involvement brought in another involvement, and just maybe if one was not friends with the wrong company, they would have not gotten involved in this gruesome crime. Coupled with the fact that in Jamaica, criminals stand a better chance of getting away, and it was more unlikely than possible that they would have gotten caught, made it much easier for them to carry out this hit. But just remember, is not what man say, is what God say. And a crime like this, especially one of this nature, could not have gone down and everyone gotten away. Let's watch and see if we will ever get a full disclosure of the thinking behind these murders, because something is still missing, and it's very clear to see, because somehow it seems like some very important factors will never be disclosed based on the fact that they keep going around it. Like, for example, where in Stony Hill she took the mother and her baby. The investigation said it was near where she was staying. Where is that? Whose house was that? Somehow it seems that that is top secret, and I will always be asking this question because that is an important factor in this case, I believe. Guys, we have to see this out to the end to get justice for little 10-month-old Sarayah Paulwell and her mother, 27-year-old Tashayna Patterson, gone too soon. Anyway, guys, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe to my platform, please. Love you all. Bye for now. To Sarayah Paulwell and her mother, 27-year-old Tashayna Patterson, gone too soon. Anyway, guys, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe to my platform, please. Love you all. Bye for now.